Welcome into the CFP season recap show. It is Sunday. We are recapping week 2. I am your host, Chris. I'm on Twitter at CFP Talk 7. You can also follow our show account at CFPSCN. Welcome in my co-host, Season. How you doing, brother?
Doing good, boy. Hey, I'm alive, man. Should have seen how crazy I went yesterday, man.
We had to send out a search party.
I had 3 people worried on me, man. I could have been in a ditch, but I made it. Y'all should have seen the amount of drinking I did, dog. Unhealthy, unhumane. But that's just how LSU goes, man. We don't fucking play around, dog. We had the pasta fire whipping up, man. I hit some red beans and rice. We had freaking burgers, hot dogs, man. Playing beer pong all fucking day, cornholes, talking shit, watching football, going crazy, having fun.
You didn't even know when I texted you that Florida lost. Was that the first time you found out?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, when I was in the stadium, someone had mentioned it, I think, but I don't know what time was it or
yeah, I
don't even remember. Dog.
Don't remember much from last night.
I remember much, but I remember drinking a lot, and man, the scenes were so fun for the first home game. God, that was so fun, man. We had some whiskey, whatever. Dude, I first time trying that shit. That shit was so fucking good. Slammed the 5th of that, bro. Killed over a case of beer. I was like 6 beers deep before game day even started, dog.
We're gonna have to do a show based offline on a group chat. If you'll make it on every show Sunday, or there'll be one that you're gonna end up missing because we can't find you.
Dude.
Oh man! All right, we watched about what a great weekend of football, though. Man, that was. Yeah, I say it all the time. Every time we have these weekends where it seems like it's sleepy and people saying, I think I was kind of down on the week until Season hyped me up on it about 2 weeks ago. He's like, no, this is a sneaky good week. And I got to look and I was like, yeah, he's right. And man, did it deliver. College football always delivers. When we think it's going to be down and we think it's going to be an off week, no, it always ends up being great. We had a couple of upsets. And Austin said I was on standby. He was. That's our other co-host, Austin. I told him, I said, if Season's not here, I texted him like late last night. I said, hey, man, I don't know if Season's dead or not, but I may need you to come on Sunday. I know you're busy.
I might not make it out alive next week, and Florida's coming.
So Austin be on standby again?
Someone's dying next week, and that's all I got to say.
Oh, man.
Good luck. Right. Good luck, bro. Don't come around me next weekend.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the games, and then we'll do our Heisman Five. We'll do our around the scoreboard like we always do. Let's get into I think the 4 or 5 biggest games we've kind of locked in on yesterday. What the heck? Baylor 48, SMU 45. Man, that was a great game. I think Baylor's defense is still a problem. I mean, I do got to give them a little bit of credit. In the third quarter, they they shut down SMU. They had 3 drives where they had a missed field goal, punt, interception. It's only like 29 yards. So they did a good job in the third quarter, but then the fourth quarter, it was back to normal. They were like, just bad Baylor defense, man. But me and Austin said it on the preview show. If Baylor's gonna win football games, they're gonna have to do it in a shootout.
Yep, you called that out perfectly. And Sawyer Robinson's gonna throw for about 450 every game. But man, he got some freaking receivers, huh? And God, he got some receivers. The running back's really good. Bryson Washington. Just, man, that offense is really legit. But the defense, both defenses, SMU's showed that they're going to be a concern as well. The game ultimately came down to just Baylor just being relentless in that second half. SMU had a chance to just kind of coast and maybe pull them away a little bit, but just Baylor's offense was not going to be given up. I mean, even in the first half, Baylor had 2 fourth-down conversions that they couldn't complete it. Whenever SMU went up 24-14, I was like, okay, they probably going to just coast or maybe just just pull it away a little bit or, just be enough. But, man, Kevin, both offenses flashed. Both teams looked really ugly. Ended up going to double overtime. Electric game. That was a freaking phenomenal game.
It's probably my favorite game of the day.
That was a badass game. I'm glad it lived up to to the hype.
I think on the SMU side of things, the D line on SMU was I thought pretty bad also, and that was a concern going into the season. They replaced so much on the D line, and they didn't really have much of a pass rush yesterday. And and on the Baylor side again, how pissed are you as a Baylor fan that you have this offense that could be the best in school history, maybe? The receivers they have, the running backs,
the
defense that just is not.
I wonder if this is like a 23 LSU type that offense. No, they similar. It's very similar in offense. Sawyer Robinson just lighting it up. And SMU missed that field goal in the second overtime, and all Baylor had to do was just kick a field goal, and that's basically all what it came down to. And it's been a classic old school Big 12 shootout, dog. Mm-hmm. But the receivers for Baylor, man, Kobe Prentice, Josh Cameron, and there was another cat too. 1 second, but
they have so many of them, man. Coleman, he's a beast. He's on my fantasy team. Thank God.
Trigg, I like Michael Trigg too.
Yeah, Trigg. Yeah, Trigg's good.
And he got Ashton Hawkins, number 6, 10 catches, 145 yards. Man, he got some receivers, boy.
Yeah, and I seen Todd McShay also tweeted out on Robinson. He's been pretty high on him as an NFL prospect, so it's going to be a fun team to watch because the offense is going to get rolling. The offense is going to do what it does, so I guess unless I don't have much confidence in the defense getting fixed.
The defense is broken.
Yeah, it's a constant problem. It's now going on year 2. But this is going to make it fun to watch because they're going to be in a lot of shootouts.
Dave Aranda's the head coach.
I know, and that's a shame because he's a good defensive mind.
Yeah, his specialty's defense, and you would not think that defense would be the problem.
Yeah. Yep. All right, let's go to the game that I enjoyed also up until it kind of got a little Missouri kind of pulled away. Missouri 42, Kansas 31. Season was one of the ones on the show that was really high on Missouri. I was not, but they proved me wrong. I think Bo I can't even say his last name. I'm not going to attempt it. Probella or whatever. Bo. He showed me a lot this game. 30 for 39, 334 yards, 3 touchdowns. My biggest question mark was could he pass the ball? Because we don't see it that much with him. And I didn't take week 1 much because it was against an FCS opponent. But he showed me a lot with Kansas. That boy can sling it.
You're completely right about that. Bo was making some really, really phenomenal throws in this matchup. I knew I kind of knew it was going to be high scoring. Kansas with Jalen Daniels and that offense, and Missouri. I thought Missouri's defense was going to look a little bit better. I
Yeah.
thought Missouri was more complete. I thought Missouri had the better defense, and I thought both offenses was really kind of flashy. But Missouri's offense ended up outshining Kansas' offense. The ground game is freaking crazy with Ahmad Hardy and Jamal Robert, and Marquise Johnson only had 2 catches for 21 yards. That's pretty interesting in a big shootout like this.
Mhm.
But yeah, at home, Missouri's still at home until mid-October. They could keep coasting, until they go. I think their first road game's Auburn, maybe, or some shit like that. But
Well, that's gonna be a good one. This is
um,
this is a potential sneaky playoff team.
potentially like a 10, if they go 10-2, right?
Yeah, 10-2 definitely. I think they're in. I was so impressed with them, the wide receivers too. But like you said, the defense was surprising.
Mhm.
On the Kansas side of things, Jalen Daniels, he seemed to be pressured a lot, at least from my eyes when I was watching it.
Yeah,
They couldn't run the ball at all. Missouri outrushed them 269 to 63 yards. Um,
right. And freaking, what's his name? I just said the other back, not Ahmad Hardy, but the other one really came onto the scene. I knew
oh
Ahmad.
yeah. I had it written down. Gosh darn it. Jamar Roberts.
Yeah, Roberts. I knew Ahmad Hardy was going to be the dog.
Oh yeah, you said it in the offseason. You were high on him.
Oh yeah, he's a really good running back, and I felt on Kansas side of things. Yeah, you're right, Jalen Daniels. I felt like he was doing everything on that offense, which makes sense when you think of Kansas, you think of Jalen Daniels, and that's kind of like he got to be Superman for them to kind of perform. I feel like so for the rest of the season, it looks like Kansas offense, Jalen Daniels is going to go through him. Missouri's defense, though, I thought they were going to be better than that. I think they got to clean up some things defensively, but their offense is way ahead of schedule, though. I think Missouri, especially with the newcomer Bo from Penn State taking over, first time starting. I did not think he was going to look that good. I know Kansas defense is not elite or anything, but Kansas, they still had some good speed on the D line,
Oh
and
yeah, they got some dudes.
yeah, and so I think offensive head of schedule for Missouri. Missouri needs to clean up some defensive things moving forward. Their schedule favors them, and just keep playing complete football.
Yeah, I think also what really impressed me about Missouri is when I was watching it, Missouri was down 21-6 at one point, and I was like, oh Lord, it's fixing to unravel, and Kansas fixing to blow them out. In my head, I was already like, Kansas is like they're the Big 12 champs, and then they slowly just chipped away, and ended up coming back and ended up beating them by 11 points. So kudos to them. I was thoroughly impressed with the offense. You're correct though; the defense does need a little bit of work. Um, Kirby Moore, I think that's the OC's name from Missouri. I can't say enough good things about him. I think he's probably one of the more underrated offensive coordinators in the country. And the job he's done at Missouri. Jalen, I would be curious. I don't know if you got to rewatch this show. Did you rewatch this game?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I was going to ask you something. I'm not the X and O's guy, so I don't pretend to be. I like to lean on people that I trust, which is Season and Mathis and plenty of other guys we know that come on the show. So this may be just me. Maybe I'm wrong. But when I watch Jalen Daniels, does it seem like if his first or second read's not open, like he starts to, I don't know, panic, or he gets like he's going to take off? What is your take on that?
Well, I was never ever high on Jalen Daniels as a thrower ever.
Mhm.
I know a lot of people, I know he's flashy, and a lot of people
Yeah.
were, he's a name that kind of a lot of people know about, but I don't feel like he's the quarterback that's going to be like an NFL type guy or any of that type of stuff. I felt like he is. They didn't have any run game. You mentioned that, and anytime the pocket breaks down, he is hitting that boundary. I felt like too, like how you mentioned, he's going to be hitting that boundary. Now, as far as the first and second reads, I mean, it could be a thing. He does strike me as a quarterback that's going to be with play design on pass throws, like Avery Johnson almost, but maybe it was just a slight upside possibly on the throws. But he has to be Superman for that offense to thrive. That it showed, and they didn't have no run game. I'm looking at the stats right now. He's the leading rusher with 17 yards, dog.
Yeah, I'm gonna be curious to see
Damn, dog.
when he
42,
leaves.
42-31 shootout, and your leading rusher is your quarterback with 17 rushing yards.
There's another game down the road we'll talk about here tonight that is almost similar with the quarterback in the running. Yeah, Austin, you're right. Absolutely, I agree. Yeah, it's going to be interesting following the SEC this year, because we'll get to it on around the scoreboard. You know, Ole Miss struggled with Kentucky. I still don't know what we're going to do with Alabama, Texas. That Arch, you know, he was struggling a little bit there at the beginning against San Jose State. Did you see the video, by the way, on Arch when he threw? There's a video, and he's like wrenching.
Yeah,
he's hurt. He's hurt.
That's not good. Yeah, that's not good.
He's hurt. I'm almost sure of it, but yeah. All right, well, let's get to the game that I did not think we were going to talk about at all. Did not have it in my brain. I'll be completely honest. I had to go back and watch some post-game shows, watch a couple of highlights, because I only caught the tail end of this game because our other co-host, Austin, texted me and said, "You seen this Florida game?" And I was like, no. Let me go check it out. But yeah, USF 18, Florida 16.
I kind of felt it, man, in the week. I put this as a must watch.
Yeah, you did.
Game. Just away from week 1 or week 0, the way that it was. I don't know if you remember if it was week 0 or week 1, but South Florida beat Boise State and they dominated them, and the defense was flying around and hitting, and speed was really on display from South Florida. So I was like, oh damn, bro! I seen that. I was like, Florida better get ready. You know, Florida was at home. Was not ready. I think it was battle of field goals in the first half. I think like halftime was like 9-6 maybe or some shit like that. Couldn't really finish drives and get it in the end zone. The scheme for Florida did not look too good. The offensive scheme, I felt like they were trying to hit the boundaries way too much. A lot of reverses, a lot of sweeps, and like they couldn't really hit anything over the middle. Lagway didn't look too impressive.
No, looked like a guy that ain't practicing in the spring.
Good.
You mentioned it. You mentioned it in the preseason. You said, "Hey, I don't like this. I don't like this." And
I didn't like the scheme of
yeah.
Florida was trying to hit offensively. They did take the lead late, I want to say. With like
I did see Billy Napier said, and I'll be curious your thoughts. Billy Napier apparently said in the post-game conference that it was due to USF did a good job taking away the explosives. I guess, but still, it's not to diminish USF, but you're Florida. Like you should find.
Yeah, both teams did a good job eliminating the explosives. Florida ended up taking a lead late in the fourth quarter, and I think Lagway hit like a slant for a touchdown in the red zone at like the 5-yard line, and then I want to say South Florida got the ball back, ended up having a punt with like 2 minutes left, got the ball back with like 2 minutes left to get a game-winning drive. And then they finally hit an explosive play, man. They hit a pass, and it was like a good catch and broke away, and they end up going all the way down for a chip shot field goal to win it.
We got to talk about what also helped on that drive is the stupid idiot that spits on the player's face and causes a 15-yarder and helps. I mean, these are the things that continue to happen under Billy Napier, and it's so maddening because it's like there's constant, and time. That's funny. Austin brings that up because I just pulled up my text with Austin yesterday, and I'm not gonna do all the cussing he did, but. Why the blank did Florida throw the ball so much during that drive? They literally took less than a minute off the clock.
Was that the drive before the 2 minute?
I think it was the drive after the 2 minute because Florida had the ball with 2 minutes and like 52 seconds left.
Okay, so it was South Florida punt with like 2 minutes. Florida had maybe like I don't know if it was a 3-and-out or whatever. Then they got the ball back less than 2 minutes.
Florida had the ball and.
I think it was like at the 11-yard line, though. South Florida started that drive.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Florida had the ball, and the first play, they had a lead. The first play, they passed the ball, and it's like, why are you not running it, trying to kill this clock? Right. And then they get into a 2nd and 10. because the incompletion, they do a run, which didn't gain nothing. So now they're in a 3rd and 8. It's like a 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. It's like, what are you doing?
You know how I mentioned Jalen Daniels got to be Superman for Kansas offense to thrive?
Yeah.
I picked up that Byron Brown, the quarterback for South Florida. He's going to have to be Superman for that offense to thrive. I noticed he's the lead in rusher. He's also the quarterback, and I mean, just give credit. I mean, Kayshawn Singleton, that wide receiver, bro. He only had 2 catches, but he's the one who had that long, explosive to get him into Florida territory late. But South Florida, I'm impressed with South Florida's defense back-to-back performances now. I still think their offense ain't too hot. I think Florida's offense ain't too hot, especially schematically. Florida's running back Jaden Bow, I don't know how you pronounce his last name, but Jaden, he's not a bad little runner. He's not a bad little runner. I know all season he puts his body. He can hit the holes hard, and he knows how to make some good jump cuts. I think he finished with 18 carries for 93 yards, so he almost cracked the century mark. Eugene Wilson was making some plays. The receivers, I feel like, they got the talent for it. I think the scheme held them back. That they tried to do against South Florida. Well, South Florida, I mean, give credit to them too, though. They got a lot of speed. They got a lot of speed. If you're a group Florida, I would like to see where their roster makeup is up on. But
I've always said I'm not going to do the sleeping giant thing again because this is a G5 team. No G5 team can be a sleeping giant. But I have always said that USF should be being where they're located at and seeing how much talent is in the state of Florida. They should be the top G5 team in the country, in my opinion, every year.
It might be the top team in the state of Florida. They got Miami next week. They go into Miami, or I don't know where that game's at, but they beat Miami. They're the number 1 team in the state, dog.
Yeah.
They're a respectable G5 team. I think, like, even back in the 2000s, I would say, like, they've been a respectable program.
There was one point they were voted. There was that one crazy season, 2007. They were the number 1 or number 2 team in the country.
Yeah, a respectable program over the years. You recruit Florida and all that speed, and I'm sure you could get something.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm so frustrated with Billy Napier. I've defended him, and I feel for him because I do think he's a good coach, but he's just having too many. It's the same shit, just a different year. Just undisciplined football players, time management. He's just constantly finding ways to lose games. I guess we'll see if he can pull himself out of it like he did last year. Got a big one in LSU, but
he's 20-20 at Florida.
Yeah,
I think McElroy got fired. He was positive record. Urban Meyer was 31-9 through his first 40 games. Will Muschamp was positive through his first 40 games. He ended up getting fired. McElroy ended up getting fired. I mean, he has a worse record than those 2 fired coaches previous.
Yeah. All right. Man, I've got a lot to say about this next one because this is a team that I picked to win the Big 12. I don't think they're going to win the Big 12 because last night was absolutely pathetic on their part. Kudos to Mississippi State, 24, Arizona State, 20. Let me tell you something, Season, I found out today while doing my prep, and I thought this when I watched the game, but I like to go back and look and make sure my eyes ain't deceiving me. I'm getting old in age, so 62% of Levitt's pass yards were to Tyson, the wide receiver. They have no help after him. None. Here's another one. Take away Tyson's receiving yards, the rest of the receivers, 14 yards.
I see that right now. Look what happened when Jordan Tyson went out against Texas last year, dog.
Yeah.
They couldn't do shit off passing wise.
Sam Levitt.
Cam Satterblue against Texas last year. So
Sam Levitt, 10 for 22, 82 yards. This was an absolutely pathetic offensive performance. But you got to give kudos to Mississippi State. This is a team that won 2 games last year. Defense was one of the worst in the country. I'm talking about maybe 128 out of 130. It was horrible. and for them to completely keep Sam Levitt in check, who many are projecting to be a first round pick, second round pick in the NFL. His stock may be dropping now. But yeah, it was just a pathetic performance on Arizona State's part. 3 for 14 on third downs. But let's talk about the winner, Mississippi State, man. That was impressive. I thought Blake Shapen, the stats ain't great. It's like 19 for 33, but I thought he was a baller. I thought he was a gamer. He made plays when needed. 279 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. I was pretty impressed with Mississippi State. I don't know. I know you didn't because I looked at your top 25. I put them in. I snuck them in there at the end. I thought that was a pretty impressive win.
I wouldn't put them in the top 25 just yet, Mississippi State, I don't think. Honestly, I could see Arizona State just shaking this off and still being successful and could still go on and win. But I don't think we got to react too hard about that. I think this was a trap game and it was on the road and Mississippi State was up for this and kind of the whole country was kind of like sniffing out the upset right here. It's a tough little place to play with the hell with the all game in your ear, you're ringing and but you know Arizona State did make a little push late, and first half was not good. Blake Shapen was balling, making throws all over the place. Mississippi State won this game through the air against a secondary that I was really high on. I thought Arizona State secondary was like probably a top 10 unit based off personnel, but they got exposed through the air. I don't know, and look at the ground game for Mississippi State. They didn't do too much on the ground. I don't know if they were running beneath the sticks or if they were just, what type of run game scheme they were looking on. Sometimes you could have a bad game running, but if you run them with the sticks, it's a different look on the run game. But the 2 receivers over 100 yards for Mississippi State, and you remember that bucket, that over the shoulder?
Yes.
Dude, that was what a dime, dog.
Austin texted me that one. It was beautiful.
Blake Shapen was balling out in this game, and man, that score that they hit at the very, very end. Crossing pattern, I want to say maybe, and he took it to the pylon.
Yeah.
What was that, like less than 30 seconds or some shit like that?
I think so. Last night's becoming a blur for me now.
Damn, dog. To win it like that. Huh?
Yeah.
Because you needed a touchdown, right? Or were they only down by 3? They might have only been down by 3.
So it might have been. I think it was down by 3. I'm not sure.
So yeah, they didn't need a touchdown, but bam, bro, to get that touchdown like that at home, basically, damn, that was electric, man.
It was electric. Yeah, you could feel it through the TV, and good for Mississippi State fans. They deserve that. It's a cool, unique school. Have rapid fan base. They're there for them guys, no matter what. But
now on Arizona State's thing, you mentioned Jordan Tyson, and that's all they really got through the air. They did have 2 backs over 100 yards on the ground.
They did.
They did not. Sam Levitt only 10 pass completions, 2 interceptions. Here's my ultimate point on Arizona State. I think they look stagnant from last season. I don't see improvement, man. They had a lot of production. Levitt. You can't. They had 2 backs over 100 yards. Jordan Tyson, though, I just feel like they look stagnant. That's one thing that they're going to have. Like I said, they can still go on and win the Big 12, though.
Yeah. You want to hear what the next 4 games is?
What's up?
TCU, Baylor, Utah, Texas Tech.
I think they could beat TCU. Or who else they got?
Baylor, Utah, Texas Tech.
With Baylor's defense, I think almost anyone could probably compete with Baylor, but that offense, that secondary just got picked apart by Mississippi State. Wait till you get Sawyer Robinson and them wide receivers, dog. but man, that's so disappointing to me, man.
Yeah.
Secondary, man, I thought the talent was there for the secondary for Arizona State.
I'm very disappointed in them. I thought it, like you said, though, they did do this last year. I can't remember who they lost to, but it was beginning of the year.
Yeah,
they had a really bad loss.
I'm not writing them off from the Big 12 just yet. I think they're still talented enough, and if they could fix some passing game issues and and fix some secondary issues, they clean some things up, clean up the film. I think they could still win the Big 12. I think they could TCU, and then you said Baylor's that next one up.
Yeah, TCU. I don't think it starts next week. It starts whenever they start Big 12 play. That's their first 4 games: TCU, Baylor, Utah, Texas Tech.
Yeah, they had Baylor too, I think.
Yeah. Before we jump to the Michigan Oklahoma game, I do want to take just a second to talk about this because I know the score is not. If you didn't watch this game, you're going to be like, "Why are you even talking about this?" I watched this game because it was one of the games I was really hyped about, and I thought it delivered up until it got away from them. But I have some thoughts on them. Illinois 45, Duke 19. I want to say this: Mensa. I'm still so impressed with him.
Mm-hmm.
He had 334 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interceptions. I just don't think he has much help. I think I don't think he has much help at all. His wide receivers,
Run game.
Yeah, no run game. That the wide receivers didn't look like they were creating much separation. Kudos to Illinois secondary. They did a good job. But I'm still super impressed with Mensa. I thought he played phenomenal despite the score of the game. I just think he doesn't have much help around him. Now, I will say
that pick that he threw, it was give credit to that corner because man, that inch more, that was a touchdown.
Yeah, and on the Illinois side, kudos to Illinois. I don't want to do this because I know I've been kind of an Illinois hater on this show. First off, kudos to them because they won a game I didn't think they were going to win. This is a game they absolutely needed since their schedule was pretty easy. They had to get past this one, and they got past it. So kudos. But I will say that the O-line is a deep concern for me. The Altmaier was pressured a lot. I know he was sacked 4 times, and there was 10 tackles for loss Duke had. They need to fix that O-line before they get the Big Ten play, and they need to fix it quick. But they got the win. They got out of there, and their head coach is an O-line specialty, so maybe they'll get it fixed. They had a great O-line last year, but I was concerned with the O-line. Anything on that one before we go to Michigan or Oklahoma?
Yeah, I remember I said it preseason. This was a game that Duke had to win if they wanted to succeed on their schedule, and they played them really tough, man. Good credit, man. They, like you said, the score doesn't really reflect. I would say the performance. Duke, couldn't really do anything really in the red zone. A lot of field goals. Illinois, just kind of coasted, just kept on just playing and just eventually crack. And Altmaier, solid game from Altmaier, solid game from Mensa. Like you said, Mensa doesn't really have the help that he really needs. And I remember I said that preseason too, that I need to see a wide receiver kind of step up and just doing too much with not enough is what it meant. So,
I do want to say on this next game, I'm gonna go on a little mini rant at the beginning, and I'll be curious to see if season starts. I'll go on this little rant, and then season can take over, and I'll get some thoughts on the back end. Oklahoma 24, Michigan 13. I see a lot of comments on Bryce Underwood. If you watch, I hope season don't disagree because I'm totally going to disrespect him if he does. I don't know how you watch that game and come away down on Bryce Underwood. Did he play great? No. I don't know how you watch that game and shit on Bryce Underwood and not see the kid has zero help. He does not. If you took away the Justice Haynes 75-yard run, which was the only explosive play all night long, they had 19 carries for 58 yards. Not 19 for 58. They had 2.5 yards per carry. If you took away Justice Haynes' one explosive run, they have no wide receivers. The O-line was not good last night. He was under pressure all night. If I hear people say, "Oh, Underwood sucks. He's a bust. I'm just like, I can't take him seriously because, like, number one, the kid's a freshman. He was playing on the road at the SEC, and he has no help, none whatsoever. Michigan still sucks offensively. Still sucks. They just they've got to get some wide receivers during the portal window when it opens up. And the play calling to me was super conservative, which may be due to lack of talent. They're trying to protect Bryce, the future. So I don't know what your take on that season if you're fixing to yell at me and say he sucks, but I just seen the discourse on Twitter kind of annoyed me that just to going ahead and labeling this kid a bust.
That was the Twitter community. That's what they said on him. He's a bust.
Yeah, message boards and stuff like that.
Damn, that's some really overreaction. Huh?
Yeah, I mean he's 18 and he has no help, none.
Dude, he's in the first, I mean, it kind of. I'm not surprised at all, really, from any other type of performance other than maybe Material looking like Superman.
Yeah, that surprised me.
But I mean, I knew Mateer had some of the best. He could sling it, some of the best arm talent in the country. That didn't surprise me. But the way that he has escapability and God, man, that dude, he's so confident and ballsy. That's what you need if you want to win a Heisman, dog. If you want to, you got to be confident and ballsy and just make those plays and not be scared to throw it. I think the scheme did fuck up Underwood, though. I thought. I mean, look what happened when he did take some deep shots. I remember that beautiful catch by one of those receivers, and I think you gotta let Underwood throws. Take some shots, man. Have some type of risk.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Like my thought is, I don't coach, so I'm not trying to pretend like I know better than these guys. But my thinking is, you're on the road. It's a big game. What do you have to lose? It's a 12-team playoff. I mean, take some chances. You got this kid who I think is going to be great.
You're not favored. You're on the road. You got a freshman quarterback, 18 years old, in a hostile environment. I felt like they played to keep it close rather than try to play to win. They probably felt like if they did that, it would have just got out of hand. Maybe turnovers or probably it would have been maybe been a blowout or something. They probably played to keep it close.
It's ridiculous. There's times
we got to talk about Mateer though.
Oh yeah, we got to get to him.
Mateer, man. Hey, Heisman front runner after week 2. This kid is freaking a dog, bro. As of now, he's my number 1 QB off the board. I know. I mean, overreactions and reactions. That's what happens in college football. But right now, after week 2, he is the front runner for the Heisman. And bro, dude, his play style is like, dude, he's slippery, escapability, ballsy. He looks like Baker, but with some wheels.
Yeah, I mean, he had 19 carries for 74 yards. He was Oklahoma's rushing attack. That's the only thing that concerns me with Oklahoma. Yeah. And Mateer is they've got to find a way to run the ball without it being all Mateer. I'm not saying don't use legs, but he's going to get hurt.
They're going to run into some issues if they don't clean that up. Because I mean, that's back-to-back weeks with Jaden. I mean, Jaden Iowa supposedly. I mean, I was down on him, but according to the whole community, he was supposed to be this electric stud RB from the portal and come in and kind of fix some things on the ground. But back-to-back weeks, I think he has less than 10 carries and less than 10 yards total for Jaden. I remember last week the run game looked really bad. This week still looking bad from the back's perspective. You're right, Mateer won't be able to do it. I mean, every game he's probably going to have some type of success because of his arms going to create some lanes for him. It's the opposite of Jackson Arnold, I feel like, with Mateer. Yeah. Arnold's going to have it because of him. I think Mateer is going to earn that rushing yards because he opens it up himself.
You know what my favorite stat of the night is? He was 4 for 9, 99 yards under pressure. Baller. That's a baller. 4 for 9, 99 yards under pressure. That's baller. I was down on Mateer.
I like Deion Burks, the wide receiver. Warren. Yes. He's a dog. He can make it plays.
I was coming into the year. I wasn't on the Mateer hype train, but like you said, coming out of this game, I was thoroughly impressed with him, and I'll show my graphic later. But I have him number 1 also. I think we can call it overreaction. We only have 2 weeks to go off of.
That's fair.
And, I mean, this is just 2 weeks. I think him and Garrett Nussmeier is like. I had Garrett last week. And jump Mateer because I was impressed. So we only go off 2 weeks. If he goes out next week and throws 4 picks, I'll bump him down.
Right.
The Heisman list fluctuates. It fluctuates all year.
That's what I love about it. It's a week by week thing. Yeah. And I knew both defenses were really good, and I don't have any concerns on Oklahoma's defense or Michigan's defense. I still respect those units, but Michigan more. We'll see how Underwood progresses in the future. I think we all knew that they were a year away from the national contender. I think they could still probably make some noise in the Big Ten at times this season, moving forward. Just along with that defense and Underwood, we'll see how Underwood progresses. As far as a bust, though, I'm not ready to put that on him just yet. And I think, next year, after a year of a starting season, and hopefully they hit the portal and get some receivers and help and stuff. I think next year, if they don't live up to expectations, then maybe you could, that's because like he was the number one quarterback coming out of high school. You know, he got to live up to like a national championship type of quarterback. I think for Michigan,
Yeah.
if they don't live up to that, then maybe you could label him a bust.
Yeah. All right. Let's go through the I don't know if you have it up, Season. Anything? Let's go around the scoreboard and then we'll do Heisman Five and game balls. Anything else on the week that you got? I'm trying to think of some kind of games that I watched other than the ones we talked about.
I gotta pull it up real quick. I need to see. Oh, Ole Miss, Kentucky.
Yes, that good one. Yeah.
Ole Miss, Kentucky. Ole Miss, Kentucky plays Ole Miss tough. The last 4 games all decided under 3 points. We kind of all knew that one was probably going to come down to the last possession again, or like a 1-score possession type game. Ole Miss, I felt like Ole Miss didn't impress me too much though. I kind of had that vibe on them all season, and we'll see how they look moving forward. Kentucky played them really respectfully at home. Oregon blew out Oklahoma State. We knew that was going to happen. Troy and Clemson kind of was a game that kind of caught my eyes a little bit. I think Troy was up in that game. I can't. Was it 16-0 or
it was 16-0 at one point? Yeah,
16-0. Man, don't schedule Troy.
Yeah, I don't know what your thoughts on this. It was one of my reasons. We do a top 25 on our Twitter page at CFP_SZN. Our boy Bus, he puts it together for us. We got a group of 10 or 11 of us that go on and vote on this thing. And I'm curious to hear your thoughts. I actually bumped LSU number 2 because number 1, how they performed against the opponent they played yesterday, and then also seeing Clemson struggle with Troy kind of worried me a little bit. What is your thoughts on that?
It's fair points. After they fell down 16-0, they did go on the 27-0 run. So we got to point that out as well. I think I'm still high on Clemson. And, this might raise some eyebrows, like how you said. I'm still high on Clemson, though. They do got a tough Georgia Tech game next week. They better be – you can't start off slow like that, I don't think, against Georgia Tech.
No. I wasn't impressed with Ole Miss either. Honestly, I'll be honest. A guy I wasn't impressed on that I hyped all off season that you kept saying not to. That you were like, I don't know about this kid. I wasn't that impressed with Austin Simmons. Maybe the stats will tell me a different story. I didn't look it up, but just from watching, 13 for 24. I mean, 2 interceptions. I don't know. I wasn't that impressed with him watching him.
No, I wasn't impressed with him as well.
Yeah, and he's a lefty, which Season loves.
Oh
yeah. I'm down on Ole Miss. You can count me off that.
Yeah. Okay. Here's another one: Texas A&M, Utah State. This is back-to-back games where Texas A&M gives up. Was it more than 20 points in back-to-back games?
Yeah, back-to-back games.
Because I know UTSA kind of played them pretty tough. Utah State put up 22 on them. Their defense, maybe. I didn't watch this one at all. I didn't watch last week at all. I'm just going off scores. I'm curious to see if their defense is going to be maybe a concern. It looks like Marcel Reed is taking a step in the pass game so far.
He looks good.
Hasn't played a name brand yet, big school yet, but
and we'll find out this weekend. They play Notre Dame.
Okay, we're gonna find out.
He's a kid right now.
His QBR was 59 though. Look at that.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good tell right there. When your QBR right here is that, even though the stats match it. Or the stats look
His
good.
average of pass was only 7.9. It's saying.
Yeah.
So that could be a lot of dink and dunking or a lot of short scheme going on there. That's concerning.
Yeah, he was one that I was down on. Next week's going to tell us a lot. Or this coming up week. Next
I
week.
wonder the leading rusher for A&M was Le'Veon Moss with 60 something yards, man.
Yeah.
I wonder if they had a crack over 100 yet for A&M. I know they had that's they got a good little scheme offensively running, and I don't know if they had an over 100-yard back yet this year. Tennessee, dude, we had some teams put up 70 this week. Alabama put up 73. Tennessee put up 72. Ohio State put up 70. Oregon put up 69. Florida State put up 77. We had a lot of high scoring some routes. Texas Tech put up 62.
I tell you, Joey Alaga, or whatever you say his name, he's
Aguilar.
looking pretty good. Aguilar, he's looking pretty good.
Yeah,
the opponent, considering the opponent, but
Tennessee's offense is ahead of schedule. I know Heupel is an offensive QB wizard, and a lot of people may be pointing Aguilar as like an upgrade quarterback position and stuff like that. But from the offseason, man, I remember at one point I think they only had 5 healthy scholarship wide receivers. They lost Dylan Sampson. We I thought the run game wasn't going to be, I was good, but I think they ahead of schedule offensively. I knew the defense was, the defense got a lot of hype, and I knew the defense was going to be a good factor. I really think the offense is ahead of schedule. And you concerned with your Georgia Bulldogs next week?
We're going to preview that game. I am absolutely concerned. Just a quick Georgia 30 seconds.
If Tennessee scores, is 24 points enough to win for Tennessee?
Yes.
It's 21 points enough to win?
Yes.
17 points enough to win?
No.
Okay, that's where you maybe start drawing it.
Georgia's offense got some problems.
I think all right, so I think this is going to be a low-scoring game potentially. I think Georgia's defense could probably. Georgia's defense matches up pretty well. Maybe I don't know. I never watched Tennessee yet, so this is just me kind of blind reacting. I think Georgia's defense matches up well with Tennessee's offense. Tennessee's defense might match up well with Georgia's offense. So
I think if Georgia wins, it'll be one or two ways. Or I think if Georgia wins, it'll be one way. I think I could see it, like you said, low scoring. It'll be a 17-10 or 23-21 or 23-14, whatever. But I think that if I could see Tennessee winning.
The run game, you think Tennessee could stop the run game for Georgia? Because
our run game hasn't. It's been okay. It's the problem with Georgia right now is what you talked about in the preseason is Gunner right now just isn't it. I was watching. I'll send it to you after the show, but I was watching a film review of Aaron Murray. He did one on Gunner Stockton, and dude is just missing. He's just missing it. Like he's not. He's moving from his reads too quick. There was one play. He had a tight end wide open in the middle of the field and just did not go to him at all. Looked at him and quickly moved before he could even get through it. And the dude ended up like wide open with nothing but grass. Gunner's just not seeing it. Pass, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if he's hurt. I don't know if something happened that got him rattled. I don't know if the coaching staff is beating it in his head to be checked down Charlie. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Gunner.
Was a lot of bubbles and screens again?
It was a lot. Now, I will say, and people got mad about that. I did too, but I will say that the team we were playing, Austin Perry, they were playing off coverage all day. Yeah, they were way off. So Georgia was just like, all right. So they just screamed them to death.
No
all day long.
No double moves, no comebacks, none of that.
In their film review, there were plays to be had, like middle of the field, deep shots, but Gunner just won't. I don't know. He's hesitant. He's scared.
I wouldn't feel too good with deep shots one-on-one right now with Gunner, but some double move deep shots I could respect. I think I could respect some comebacks right now with Gunner. I think I could respect some digs. I think you could clean up film. I didn't watch both of these games. I think you could clean up some things. I think if I'm Georgia, I'm throwing some. Has it been vanilla? How you think they haven't showed everything, Georgia?
Yeah. It's
What
been stupid vanilla.
I think this week you open it up and you hit Tennessee with some stuff you never seen on film yet. Same
Yeah.
Tennessee, I feel like they probably showing their hands. They've been
Mhm.
scoring a lot of points. I think they probably showing their hands too much already against some inferior part, some downer opponents than them. So I think that could be a plus for Georgia right there.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about that. Yeah, you're right. I'm nervous about this game, but I'm gonna send you that film review after the show because I think you'll enjoy it. It's like 20 minutes long. If anybody else want to check it out, just go find Aaron Murray on Twitter. Um, this one, man, Nico is effed around to find out that the grass is not always greener on the other side. Um, he's man, UNLV beating UCLA. I don't know that this.
41, 6.2 average. 11 on the dude, he don't got no help, I bet though over there.
No help, no help. I mean, he's the leading rusher.
Yeah.
He's the leading rusher. I mean,
8 catches, 87. I didn't watch that. I didn't watch a lick.
I didn't either. I just seen somebody that this may be a team that doesn't win many ball games, to be honest with you.
We expected that though from UCLA.
Yeah, we did. Let's pull up. All right, we'll get it on. Let's go ahead and we'll do seasons first, and then we'll do mine. As he said earlier, John Mateer is his number one season. Talk us through your Heisman watch after week 2.
Yeah, so we both. I didn't see your top 5 yet, but you mentioned Mateer and Nuss, so we both got the number 1 and number 2. As I think those are the 2 front runners after week 2. I'm going with Sawyer Robinson, Dante Moore. I'm still not giving up on Lenore Sellers. And I got Drew Aller. Penn State hasn't played really anybody. I think Penn State, the season that they're going to have, though, and, I think Drew Aller has some Heisman appeal. So I'm going – I didn't put Tommy Castanelas in my top 5, and I'm trying to think if anyone else is kind of getting some hype.
Here, you want me to show you mine? I think you're probably going to hate mine.
It's QB heavy. Though for the high, it's going to be a quarterback, I think, this year.
Yeah, there's mine. I know you're gonna pick on me for my Utah love. I think he's been playing phenomenal. But yeah, I got Mateer 1, Nuss 2, Beck 3, Devon Dampier, and the Bo kid at Missouri.
No Sawyer Robinson.
Not yet.
You gotta go put up another 500, Another 500.
Yeah, he's got chances. He's got some chances to continue to.
I think it's James Daniels' year, but however, the thing about this season, I think that the contenders at the top it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to if you lose 3 games with some of these contenders this year.
Yeah,
that's what I think. I got some nervous for Sawyer Robinson.
Yeah, I do too.
I think he could throw for like 5,000 yards and fucking like 50 touchdowns, probably Sawyer.
Yeah.
Because, it is a statistical award as well. It is the best player in college football. It's also a statistical award. It's also a team success award. It's like it is an individual award, but it's based off a lot of those factors.
Mm-hmm.
You need Heisman moments, and you need, you need national coverage.
No, I agree. All right, let's end the show with our game balls real quick. I'm going to be pretty simple. I'm going to give it to USF's head coach. I think 2 weeks in a row, you beat everybody's G5 playoff team in Boise State. And then you go out and beat Florida, who's been a sleeper, prediction as an SEC contender. It's a team that in my preseason, I put him in the playoffs. Stupid me. Don't listen to my football analysis sometimes. But yeah, kudos to him. Maybe down the road this doesn't look as good, but through 2 weeks, I was pretty impressed with USF's head coach. I think
they beat Miami, son.
Yeah, Yeah, if they beat Miami, this is going to be wild. But kudos to him. I think he's going to be at an SEC school probably by next year. I think somebody's going to hire him. So that's my game ball.
What was his name again?
Alex Grinch, something like that.
Yeah, I heard that name before. I can't
He was
remember.
Tennessee's OC, Josh Heupels.
Okay, because I heard that name before. So yeah, so
He's going to be an SEC coach soon.
your game ball. I'm gonna keep this one easy for me this week, and I'm gonna go with another quarterback. I'm gonna go John Mateer, Oklahoma. You mean my game ball from Mateer? I felt like he, really flashed out on prime time and led the Sooners to a victory against a top 10 unit. A lot of people have from Michigan's defense. Now he's in the Heisman front runner contention. So I'm gonna go John Mateer for my game ball for week 2.
Yep. All right. That was an awesome show. We hit it right at an hour like we do every Sunday. Join us next Thursday. Me and Austin will be back to do the preview show. Maybe we'll have some interview. We got a big week next week, so I may work on doing a guest interview Tuesday, possibly. I'll work on that. So we may be back Tuesday, but for sure, me and Austin will be back Thursday, and then you can check me and Season out for the recap of next week. We may also do a Twitter space. We've been trying to work on that. I had some family around, so I couldn't do it like I wanted to last night. But yeah, we may do a Twitter space next weekend too. Yeah, so just come join the channel. We had a pretty good crew tonight. If y'all could do us a favor, go over to the YouTube channel. It's been growing, doing a great job at it. Would love to see it continue to grow. If you can just go to it, it's at CFB_SZN, which you can see right under me on the screen. You can also follow our Twitter account at CFB_SZN. And we also have a TikTok if you're into that kind of stuff, which I think it's CFBCSZN07, I believe, is the TikTok name. So we post all kind of stuff everywhere. Yep, there's our Twitter page. Or no, our YouTube page. Sorry. Yeah, just go hit the follow button or the subscribe button. It helps us, and we would love to continue to grow this thing and make it even better as the weeks go on and as the years go on. So, all right, we enjoy it. Go ahead, Caesar.
Yeah, y'all subscribe to the channel and keep following us. As you remember, man, for those watching, always, man, drop comments and interact with us. We'd love to hear your thoughts, and we'd love to interact with everybody. So, shoot messages, DMs always open. Comment. We won't skip comments, unless they are derogatory or anything like that. So, other than that, bro, thank you. Good show, and can't wait to do week 3 recap. Especially after the start of this season. How's it been going?
This season's going to be a movie. Week 3 is going to be awesome. All right, everybody, y'all have a good night, and we'll check y'all out next week.
Yes, sir.